My clearance lights. My clearance lights are securely mounted. They're clean, not cracked, broken, or missing. They're proper color amber. My student loading and unloading lights are red and amber in color. They're securely mounted. They're clean, not cracked, broken, or missing. My windshield is securely mounted. My seals are intact. It looks to be in good condition. And the windshields are clean, not cracked, broken, and there are no illegal stickers obstruction in view. I have my wiper arms and blades. They're securely mounted. They're not cracked, bent, or broken, and my blades look to be in good condition, and I will check them on operation of the vehicle. I have my brackets and mirrors. They're both securely mounted. All nuts and bolts are in place and secured. They're not cracked, bent, or broken, and my mirrors are clean, not cracked, broken, or missing. I have my turn signal and four-way hazards. They're securely mounted. They're proper color amber. They're clean, not cracked, broken, or missing. I have my headlights, my low beam and high beams. They're both securely mounted. They're clean, not cracked, broken, or missing. There's no water damage. This is my crossing arm super stopper. They're securely mounted. All nuts and bolts are in place and secure. It's not cracked, bent, broken, or missing. And my airbag looks to be in good condition, and there are no loose or missing pieces. I have no leaks or puddles under the vehicle. I'm gonna go ahead and start under the hood. This is my coolant reservoir. It's securely mounted. It's not cracked, damaged, or leaking. All my nuts and bolts are in place and secured. My cap is intact and there are no leaks. My hoses, they're all securely mounted. They're not frayed, worn, cracked, no loose fibers, and there are no leaks. And my clamps are securely fastened. My sight glass is colored in orange, so that indicates that it's full and there are no leaks. Controls the alternator and water pump. The serpentine belt is not frayed, worn, cracked, no loose fibers. And if I were to push it by hand, it should not deflect more than a half to 3/4 of an inch with no excessive slippage. This is my alternator. My alternator is securely mounted. It's not cracked or damaged. And my alternator wires are securely fastened. This is my water pump. My water pump is securely mounted. It's not cracked, damaged, or leaking or loose. And there are no leaks. My water pump hoses, they're not frayed, worn, cracked, no loose fibers, and my clamps are securely fastened, and there are no leaks. These are my hoses. They're not frayed, worn, all of my hoses, they're not frayed, worn, cracked, no loose fibers, and all of the connections are securely fastened, and there are no leaks. This is my power steering lever. They're securely mounted. It's not cracked, damaged, or leaking. To check it, I will remove the dipstick, clean it, reinsert it, pull it back out to make sure the fluids are at its fill levels. This is my power steering hoses. They're not frayed, worn, cracked, no loose fibers, and there are no leaks. My clamps are securely fastened and there are no leaks. This is the power steering pump. It's securely mounted, it's not cracked, damaged, or leaking, and it is gear driven. It's my oil level dipstick. To check the fluid, I will remove it, clean it, place it back, pull it back out again, and make sure the fluid's at its fill levels. This is my air compressor. It's securely mounted. All nuts and bolts are in place and secure. It's not cracked, damaged, or leaking, and it is gear driven. This is the air compressor hoses. They're not frayed, worn, cracked, no loose fibers, and all connections are securely fastened. There are no leaks. This is my steering box. It's securely mounted. All nuts and bolts are in place and secure. It's not cracked, damaged, or leaking. And all of my hoses, they're not frayed, worn, cracked, no loose fibers, and all connections are securely fastened and there are no leaks. This is my steering linkage. My rods and arms, they're securely mounted. It's not cracked, bent, or broken. And my joints and sockets are not loose or worn. And my nut and cotter pin are in place and secured. This is my spring mounts. They're securely mounted. It's not cracked, damaged, or broken. And my bushings are not loose or worn, and they're in good condition. This is my spring leaves. They're securely mounted. They're not cracked, bent, broken, missing, or shift. And my bracket is in place and secure. These are my U-bolts. They're securely mounted. They're not cracked, bent, or broken, or missing. This is my shocks. My shock absorbers are securely mounted. It's not damaged or leaking. This is my brake hose. My brake hose supply air to the chamber, and the hose is not frayed, worn, cracked, no loose fibers, and all connections are secured, and there are no leaks. This is my brake chamber. It's securely mounted. There are no dents, no holes, and there are no leaks. My clamps are in place and secure. This is my slack adjuster and push rod. There's no loose or missing parts, and when brakes are released by hand, it should not move more than 1 inch. This is my brake drum. My brake drum is securely mounted. It's not cracked, no dents, no holes, or grease or oil, and my brake lining are not worn dangerously thin. My tires are evenly worn. My tire depth should be 432, and to check it, I will use a tire depth gauge. My sidewalls have no cuts or air bubbles, and my valve stem and cap are in place, and it's not damaged or leaking. And to check the pressure, I will use an air gauge. My rim is securely mounted. It's not cracked, bent, broken, or welded. My lug nuts are securely mounted. There's no loose or missing lug nuts. There's no rust trail indicating that the lug nuts are loose or separated from the rim, and there are no distortions around the lug nut holes. My hub oil seal is securely mounted. It's not leaking. And to check it, the levels, I will check it through the sight glass. Body of my bus, it looks to be in good condition. I have 3 clearance lights. I have 2 amber in the front, 1 red in the rear. They're all securely mounted. They're clean, not cracked, broken, or missing. The door and my windows, they're all securely mounted. They're clean, not cracked, broken, or missing. I have my turn signal and 4-way hazards. They're securely mounted. They're clean, not cracked, broken, or missing. They're proper color amber. My reflector tape runs along the side of the school bus. It's securely mounted, and it's just proper color amber. I have 3 reflectors, 2 amber in the front, 1 red in the rear. They're all securely mounted. They're clean, not cracked, broken, or missing. My frame, my floor, and my cross member, they're all securely mounted. It's not cracked, bent, broken, or welded, and there are no holes other than the manufacturer specification. There are no loose or missing cross member, and my floor are in good condition. My exhaust system runs from the front to the rear of the vehicle. It's securely mounted. It's not cracked, no dents, no holes, and there are no leaks, and I see no signs of carbon soot. My drive shaft is securely mounted. It's not cracked, bent, broken, or twisted, and my U-joints are free of foreign objects. My brake hose is securely mounted. It's not frayed, worn, cracked, no loose fibers, and all my connections are securely fastened, and there are no leaks. My brake chamber are securely mounted. It's not cracked, no dents, no holes, and there are no leaks. And my clamps are in place and they're secure. This is my slack adjuster and push rod. They're located in the back of the brake chamber. There's no loose or missing parts. When brakes are released and pulled by hand, it should not move more than 1 inch. This is my brake drum. My brake drums are securely mounted. It's not cracked, no dents, no holes, no grease or oil, and my brake lining are not worn dangerously thin. This is my spring mount. They're securely mounted. All nuts and bolts are in place and secure. It's not cracked or broken. And my bushings are in good condition. This is my leaf spring. They're securely mounted. It's not cracked, broken, missing, or shift. And my bracket is in place and secure. My U-bolts are located in the center of the leaf springs. They're securely mounted. It's not cracked, broken, missing. My tires are evenly worn. My tire depth should be 232. There's no spacers or foreign objects in between my tires. My sidewalls have no cuts or air bubbles. My valve stem is in place and my cap is present, and there are no leaks. And to check the pressure, I will use an air pressure gauge. This is my rim. My rim is securely mounted. It's not cracked, bent, broken, or welded. My lug nuts are securely mounted. There's no rust indicating that they're loose or separating from the rim, and there's no distortion around the lug nut holes. This is my axle seal. All the nuts are secured and there are no leaks. This is my torque arm. It's located on top of the rear axle. It's not cracked, bent, broken, and my bushings are in good condition. This is my airbag. It's securely mounted. It's not cracked, damaged, or leaking. This is my shock absorber. It's securely mounted. It's not damaged or leaking. This is my splash guard. It's securely mounted and it looks to be in good condition. Fuel tank is securely mounted. It's not cracked, damaged, or leaking. This is my fuel cap. It's securely mounted and it's not leaking. My fuel line hose is securely mounted. It's not frayed, worn, cracked, no loose fibers, and my clamps are securely fastened and there are no leaks. My strobe light is located on the top of the bus. It's securely mounted, it's clean, not cracked, broken, or missing, and it's proper color clear. I have 5 red clearance lights. They're all securely mounted. They're clean, not cracked, broken, or missing. I have my red and amber student loading and unloading lights. They're all securely mounted. They're clean, not cracked, broken, or missing. All of my windows and door windows are securely mounted. They're clean, not cracked, broken, or missing. My turn signal and 4-way hazards are securely mounted. They're clean, not cracked, broken, or missing. They're proper color amber. I have my brake light and tail lights. They're all securely mounted. They're clean, not cracked, broken, or missing. I have my reverse lights. They're securely mounted. They're clean, not cracked, broken, or missing. Proper color clear. I have my door. It's securely mounted. My hinges are intact and secured. My door opens and closes freely with resistance, and my bracket is in place and secure. I have my reflectors. They're securely mounted, proper color red. They're clean, not cracked, broken, or missing. My tailpipe is in place secured, and there's no obstruction in view. My student stop arm is securely mounted. All nuts and bolts are in place and secure. My lights are clean, not cracked, broken, or missing. They're proper color red. There's no loose or missing parts. My airbags look to be in good condition, and I will check them on operation of the vehicle. I have 3 compartment doors, my fuse box, my battery compartment, and my circuit breaker door. They're all secured. Okay. My door, it opens and closes freely. My steps are securely mounted. My floor grip has good tread, and it's clean. My student handrail is securely mounted to the bus. It's not cracked or broken. My step light is securely mounted. It's clean, not cracked, broken, or missing, and I will check it on operation of the vehicle. I have 3 emergency red triangles. It's securely mounted. My seals are intact, so they all should be here. I have my fire extinguisher. My fire extinguisher is securely mounted. My pen and my needle is in the green. That indicates that it's fully charged and it's ABC rated. My spare fuse box is here. It's located here and it's secured. I have my first aid kit. It's securely mounted. It should have 8 to 9 items inside. The seals are intact, so they all should be here. I have my body fluid kit. It's securely mounted, and it should have 4 to 5 items inside. My seals are intact, so everything should be there. This is my student mirror. It's securely mounted. It's clean, not cracked, broken, or damaged, and I would adjust it for me when I'm sitting. My driver's seat is securely bolted to the floor, and the cushions are properly attached to the frame. There's no cut, no damage or graffiti to the seats, and right now I'm going to perform a safe start. I'm going to make sure that my gear shift is in neutral and my parking brakes are applied. I'm going to turn my key into the on position without starting the bus. I'm going to make sure that my ABS indicator light comes on and turn off. That lets me know that the ABS system is working properly. Once my needle stabilizes, once it goes forward and backwards and stop, then I will start my vehicle. The driver's seat belt, it releases and retracts freely, and the belt itself is not frayed, worn, cracked, no loose fibers, and it properly fastened. And I will properly adjust it for me. My horn is working properly. I'm going to start with my inside inspections from the side panel. I'm going to make sure that my fan works on high and low and off. My rear interior lights are working. My front interior lights are working. My driver interior lights are working. My door opens and closes from the inside switch. My noise suppressor kills all noises and sound. And my strobe light should be working at all times. My defroster and my heater, it works on low, medium, and high. My wipers, they work on low, medium, and high. And once I push it, it should have fluid to clean the windshield. My amber student loading indicator light is working. My red loading student indicator light is working. My mirrors are working properly and they're properly adjusted for me. My right turn indicator is working. My left turn indicator is working. My four-way hazard indicator is working. My high beam indicator light is working. My engine temperature is at 200. My air pressure is at 120 in the front. My air pressure is at 120 in the rear. My battery voltage is at 14. My miles per hour is at 0 because the bus is not moving. My RPM is at idle is at 1300. My oil pressure is at 35. My fuel is at a full tank. My RPM is at 60. While I'm waiting for my air pressure to build up, I'm going to go ahead and do my inside inspection. I'm going to make sure that my seats are securely mounted to the floor and my cushions are properly attached to the frame. There's no cut, damage to the seats, and I will make sure that my belts securely fastened and they're not frayed, worn, cracked, no loose fibers. And I would inspect all my seats the same as I inspect this one. I have 2 emergency exits on the roof, one in the front and one in the rear. I have 4 emergency windows. I will open the window to make sure they open and closes properly, and I hear the alarm sounding. And it's working properly, and I will inspect all windows the same as I inspect this one. I have 1 emergency rear door. I will make sure the emergency rear door opens and closes from the red inside handle. And the alarm sounds. The door opens and closes properly, and the alarm sounding is working properly. For my parking brake test, I'm going to place my vehicle in drive, and I'm going to step on the accelerator twice. My bus did not move, so my parking brakes are working. Now I'm going to perform my service brake test. I'm going to place my bus in drive and I'm going to pull forward 5 miles per hour. And my bus should not pull to the left or the right, and it should stop smoothly. Okay, my bus didn't pull to the left or the right, and it stopped smoothly, so my service brakes are working properly. Okay, I'm now ready to begin my lap test. I have between 120 to 140 PSI in my front and rear tanks. Now I'm going to begin. Turning off my bus, releasing my parking brakes, and turning my ignition forward. I'm going to wait for my needles to stabilize before beginning my test. Okay, all of my gauges, needles have stabilized. I'm going to start my test. My first test I'll be performing will be my air leak test. I'm going to hold down the foot brakes for 1 minute, and I should not lose more than 3 PSI. Okay, I see I did not lose more than 3 PSI within 1 minute. My air pressure's holding. Okay, now I'm going to start my second test. My second test will be my low air warning device test. I'm going to pump my brakes, and my warning devices should activate before 55 PSI. My rear indicator light came on, and my front indicator light came on, and alarm sounded. And they both activated before 55 PSI. They activated at 65 PSI. Okay, now I'm going to perform my third test. That will be my emergency spring brake test. I'm going to continue pumping my brakes, and my emergency spring brake should pop out approximately around 40 PSI.